Welcome to Making the Most Out of Every Music Therapy Material, Session Themes, a course module under the auspices of the course Composition and Creativity, offered to you by musictherapyworks.com. My name is Mary Jane Landaker, and I'm your instructor for this course, and I'm very pleased that you decided to take this particular module, because session themes are something that I enjoy developing and something that I enjoy using to shape some of my music therapy interactions with my clients. And so for today, hopefully you'll have an opportunity to explore your own creativity and come up with some ways to engage clients who might not necessarily engage in music therapy otherwise. So we're going to be talking about how to pull together themes during this particular course module. Today, in addition to the overarching learner objective that we have for this course with demonstration elements, you are also going to be completing 2 themed session strategy plans, which will demonstrate your creative thought process and your knowledge of your client's preferences and interests. And this learner objective covers the CBMT certification for music therapists, board certification domains of 1D5, 1D9, 1D10, 1D12, 1D15, 2A12, and 2A5. And so by the end of this particular course module, you will have completed 2 theme session strategy courses and started to think about how you might be able to use these things with your clients in the future. There are several different materials that you need for this particular course, but they should be things that you already have. The first is you need a computer with internet access, and that's primarily so that way you can find information, you can find ideas quickly. Also, so you can access this course material. You're going to need a printer and paper. You're also going to need a pen or a pencil. Songbooks, music sources, poetry books. If you have favorite resources, then get them and have them close at hand. If you don't have favorite resources, this might be a time to explore a little bit and find something that might help. Optional if inspiration strikes, and I always keep things close at hand because when I'm thinking about themes, inspiration does strike quite often. So have staff paper or music writing software, because you might all of a sudden have a great idea for a song to use for a therapeutic music experience. You might need to have an accompanying instrument nearby. I know for me, I use the guitar to come up with the chords, I use the piano to come up with the melody, and I use my music writing software to make sure that I get the rhythms notated correctly. You also might want to have access to additional resources, not just songbooks, but clip art, visual aids, etc. Whatever it is you use and find most helpful in your life and in how you interact creatively with the world. So there are many benefits to using themes, and the primary benefits are for the therapist, but clients also seem to respond pretty well to themes if they are done in a way that clients can access and understand easily. The first benefit for using themes is organization. And I found as a practicing music therapist that this is a really good way for me to justify the use of themes in my facility, because quite frankly, I can put everything that I need for a Thanksgiving themed session, for example, into a Thanksgiving file, and I can put that into my organization system, and it can just sit there until I'm ready to use it. And then when I'm ready to use it, I pull it out, everything I need is there. Also allows me to supplement that at a very regular basis. So if I happen to find a really cute turkey pattern that I want to use, I can make one and stick that in my Thanksgiving file, and then I know when I go back for my Thanksgiving session planning that everything is right there. So organization is one of those things that is a benefit for using themes. It also benefits the client's organization pattern as well, because they can start to understand what they're going to be talking about and discussing throughout the session. And sometimes our clients need that. Not all of them do, but sometimes they do. Themes also allows for strategy development, and as a therapist, if I am looking at a theme that may not necessarily be a Thanksgiving theme, but might be gross motor coordination theme, I can then start to plan everything that I have based on that idea, and I can develop my strategies based on that common goal, that common theme that I have for my session. And that's a good benefit as well. This also provides for educational enrichment, and depending on the population that you work with, if you work like me with children and adolescents in a school setting, educational enrichment is important. It's an opportunity for me to kind of give them more information about the things that they're already learning about. So for example, when they are going through learning about the Civil War for the United States, I can provide some information on songs of the Civil War, and we can talk about why the music sounds the way it does, and we can talk about the socio-political ramifications of music, etc. I firmly believe that as much information that you can give a client about a particular field of study or a particular interest, the better. And so why not use that as part of my theme development as well? Also provides me an opportunity to use specific materials. So if I'm going to be working on something that is fine motor finger isolation work, maybe that would be the time that the ukuleles come out and it turns into a ukulele choir, because that's going to work a lot on fine motor isolation, finger isolation. This provides an opportunity for you to justify why you have something in your clinic, as well as the storage space that you need to keep it. Themes help the therapist with planning and organization, and you can then kind of get an idea of what you're going to use when. So for example, if you know that you're only going to use your heart graphics at Valentine's Day during the first 2 weeks of February, then you can put them into storage until you need them. If you're like me and you have limited space and you have very specific space requirements, then I know that having a bunch of Valentine's hearts may not necessarily be the best use of my storage space, and so I may then decide not to keep those things permanently, and that's okay too. For clients who need cognitive work, who are looking for cognitive associations, memory recall and retrieval, etc. kind of goals, a theme can provide a connection for that client. If you have them guess the theme while you are presenting it, and they figure out that everything that you talked about had to do with flowers, that gives them that brain activation and that connection. And so why not use them? So now it's time to go back to the website and make sure that you've downloaded and possibly printed out the worksheet that we're going to use for this theme process development. And there are two versions of it on the website. There is a version where you can work on it electronically, and then there's a version where it's got a little bit more space, so that way you can work on it using pen and pencil. So download that, get that started, take your time. I got a little ukulele music for you while you're doing this process. You can pause on this slide while you are doing that, or you can just sit and listen to the ukulele music. I am getting better at the ukulele. It's amazing how that works. I can now play in 2 keys. No more just C. I can also play in G. So download the theme process worksheet so you can see what we're working on and enjoy this process. I'm glad you're here with me doing this course. So we're going to do 2 different themes today, and the first theme we're going to do is going to have common client goals. So I've given you some information and we'll work through that information. And the second theme, you're going to do your own client goals. So be thinking about a particular client or a group of clients that you think would benefit from a theme idea as you go through this process. For the first theme, we're going to start with a fictional group of clients. They're going to have 3 different therapeutic goals, and it's going to be your job to develop a session based on a theme of your choosing. You're going to be able to choose whatever theme you want to do, with those 3 therapeutic goals being your desired outcomes, and with a minimum of 5 therapeutic music experiences and TMEs. And I'm not asking that you complete the therapeutic music experience plan. I just want enough of a description so I can see how you're going to be addressing those 3 therapeutic goals for your session demonstration element. You're going to present this through the completion of the worksheet. And that's just kind of so that way we have that demonstration element. For your second theme, you're going to choose your own therapeutic goals. So really base it on people that you know that you're currently working with. You're going to do the same. You're going to do a minimum of 5 TMEs. You're going to present that through the completion of the worksheet. And this is meant to be an opportunity to practice the concept of developing session implementation. I'm not going to be checking up on whether or not you actually present this or anything like that. If you implement it, it's completely up to you. As someone who I kind of do themes at my facility, kind of not. And that's just because some of my students respond really well, some of my students don't respond very well at all, and it just kind of depends on what's going on. I've got lots and lots of theme ideas, and I've got lots and lots of theme materials that I may never actually use with the clients that I work with now, and that's okay. So there are two types of themes. There are topical themes and there are goal-based themes, and we're going to talk a little bit about those two types of themes because what you decide to do with your clients is going to change how your themes look and how those themes work together. Topical themes are based on an idea or a theme, and here are some examples. Trees, cooperation, the circus, travel, anything and everything can be a theme idea. And a goal-based theme is something that is specifically based on the therapeutic needs of clients. It might be social interaction, gross motor development, anger management. Usually, like at my facility, I can't group clients together based on therapeutic needs. They all come to me on just through convenient sampling. They come in their classroom groups. And so I don't have a say about, like all of these students need to have social interaction work, so I'm going to put them together in a group so we can practice social interaction skills together in a group. So topical themes are good if you don't have much say about how and when you see clients. Goal-based themes are better if you have the ability to assign people to specific groups based on their therapeutic needs. And basically, everybody's life is a little different, so, whatever works for you works for you. You can choose either of those or both for a thematic session development. So if you want to make your theme both social interaction and goldfish, go for it. There is no reason not to. Because either type of theme is valuable for music therapy session and strategy development. I mean, there are times when somebody's going to benefit from having just a specific goal-based group. There are times when somebody's going to really, really enjoy learning everything there is to know about some salamanders. Using goal-based themes, again, is beneficial for your clients if they have similar goals in the same therapeutic domains. And topical themes can be beneficial if your clients have diverse clinical goals. There's no wrong way. And that's one of the things that I try to emphasize during these courses here for composition and creativity is that there's really no wrong way. I'm going to show you how I think about things. I'm going to have you do that through the worksheet that I've developed. But there's no wrong way. If you decide that you're going to spend the rest of your time developing your session themes on your Post-it notes, go for it, because that's your way of interacting with the world. Themes constantly expand and adapt and grow. And one of the things that you really strive for is having a whole bunch of ideas for a specific theme, more things than you could possibly complete in one session. And then you have the option of choices. If you have something where you're doing a theme on fun and games and you happen to have that on your session strategy plan during a week when the entire facility has the flu, fun and games might not necessarily work, but you might have more ideas than just your original ideas. So that way you have choices and you have options and you can shape your music therapy to fit your client needs. You also want to keep ideas because you might find that you do salamanders one week and they really, really like it and they want to do salamanders again sometime, and you don't want to do the exact same therapeutic music experiences that you did before. Then you have more ideas that you can go to. So keep your ideas to continue a theme for more than one session. So there are lots of places that I look for ideas for therapeutic music experiences, especially as I'm doing themes. Google is the #1. I mean, honestly, I don't know what we did without Google. I'm really glad I live now when Google is around. Pinterest is another good place. Educational websites are wonderful. Music therapy blog posts. There are quite a few music therapy bloggers out there who offer ideas. iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, etc. You can find music. You can find, you can search by keywords a lot of times and find 100 songs that have to do with winter. Game books, songbooks, stories, etc. And then population-specific websites and population-specific reference books may also give some ideas to look for therapeutic music experiences. One of my favorite things to do is to walk through the Dollar Tree, the dollar store in our town, and just see what they have and think, okay, how could I use this particular ping pong balls? How could I use ping pong balls in a therapeutic music experience for my kids? And sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. And that's just kind of the way that goes. And so there is lots of opportunity to find ideas. And again, there is no wrong. So here are the steps that I take when I'm developing themes. The first thing that I do is I start brainstorming, because anything can be the basis of a topical theme for a session. I mean, just looking around here, I'm looking at microphones, I'm looking at ukuleles, I'm looking at money, I'm looking at fans. I mean, you know, there could be anything. I could come up with a session around each one of those particular objects. Goal-based themes, again, come out of common therapeutic goals. So if I know that I have 5 clients who particularly struggle with anger management, I can come up then with an anger management group. And everything that we're going to do within that group, everything we're going to do within that theme is going to be discussing anger management in some way. Again, Google and Pinterest can be very valuable when you're trying to develop theme ideas. I don't know how many times I've been able to find things for themes based on just a simple Google search or a simple Pinterest search. Use those resources, adapt those ideas, make them your own. More general themes are easier to plan than more specific ones. A lot of times, like hygiene is a little bit easier to plan than brushing the backs of your teeth. Yeah, it just kind of depends on your client needs and your client goals, what you do. Therapeutic music experience development, specifically when it's within a theme session, is really important, because you want to make sure that all the therapeutic music experiences that you use address all of the clinical goals of your clients, because that's why clients are in music therapy. They are really working to advance their goal development. So we have a responsibility, an ethical responsibility as therapists, to make sure that the experiences that they're being offered are experiences that will help them out and help their development in the long run. All therapeutic music therapy experiences and topical themes have to address all client goal areas. So if your setting is like mine, where you have diverse client goals and you have no say in how clients are grouped, you have to really get creative about, okay, how am I going to have a TME that addresses both gross motor function and interruptions and the ability to sit for longer than 30 seconds and communication and good social interaction. We can do it, but it does complicate matters a little bit. And again, there is no wrong. You try it, you see, you adapt, you adjust, you go back. All right, so it's time to try a theme of your own. We're going to start off with a common set of therapeutic goals. You get to determine the age of the clients that you're working with, the type of group setting, and the theme. And I usually use my themes for group settings, but you can also use them for individuals. In this case, we're going to use group as the idea, because it's just one way to unify our responses. Again, there is no wrong. You get to develop, you get to create what you want to create, you get to develop what you want to develop. Theme idea 1, you're going to have a group of 6 clients. These 6 clients, again, any age, any type of client you can have. If you work within a psychosocial setting, then use psychosocial clients. If you work within a pediatric rehabilitation setting, use those. If you work with older adults, use them as your population base. If you want to branch out and use a population you've never worked with before because you find it creative and stimulating, do that. I'm not checking up on those things. Within those 6 clients, you have the following therapeutic goals. You want to increase upper extremity range of motion. You want to increase physical response to musical stimuli, and you want to increase social interactions. And those are our 3 therapeutic goals. Session duration is 60 minutes. You get to come up with the age of clients, the more specific clinical objectives if you feel like you want more specific clinical objectives, and the other details are up to you. Come up with a theme idea, either a topical theme or a goal-based theme, up to you. 5 therapeutic music experience descriptions, and a list of materials that you need to run those therapeutic music experiences to help complete this demonstration element. And the reason I come up with the list of materials is because if you write that down on your session theme plan, then when you pull that out for your Thanksgiving session, when you pull it out at the beginning of November, as you're getting ready to prepare that, you can see everything that you're going to need to gather before you go into the session and start implementing things and go, I forgot my Tom the Turkey picture. Well, that's not going to work with this TME or this TME or this TME. So a list of materials that you will need to complete this demonstration element as well. Your second theme idea is you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to choose the client, you're going to choose your therapeutic goals, you're going to choose the theme idea, and you're going to choose all aspects of this theme. You can choose whatever you think would work the best with your specific clientele. And again, you're going to come up with a theme idea, 5 TME descriptions, and a list of materials to complete this demonstration element. If you would like to pause this particular slide right now to finish your worksheet, you certainly may, or you may just go on to the next one, which just tells you what how to submit your demonstration element to me. You're going to send your demonstration element, send your worksheet, your completed worksheet, to contactus@musictherapyworks.com. Once I receive that, within 24 to 48 hours, I'll respond with the course evaluation link for this particular course module. After you have finished all of the course modules that you've signed up for in our continuing music education course, you will get your certificate and a copy to the final course evaluation. I just wanted to thank you so much for choosing Music Therapy Works for your CMTE needs, and I hope that this is a course that you will find valuable. Have fun completing your demonstration element, and I will see you in another course module.